What do we got here today? We have a secret hangar doors tutorial. And yes, they are separating doors, which is a little bit different from what you normally see, not too much different. But, yes, in the ground right here, I have set up hangar doors. And, yes, they do separate, and then they go back together. It's kind of a rough sketch of what I have, or what most people do. The wiring's not too difficult. Frame motors aren't too difficult. Setup isn't too difficult either. So I'm going to try to make this quick tutorial as quick as possible because it is kind of a lot to go through. So let's get started with the remote I have here. It separates them, and yes, it starts out with that one going over and then that one proceeding to go over. I don't really know how to fix that yet. I'm just messing around with frames at the moment, and then the first remote puts them back together. Okay, so we'll go over here. And the first remote, or the second remote, is connected to the wireless receiver. And the wireless receiver clicks, and ignore this right here, because before I had it where it pushed the frames down, and then it pulled them out, but that wasn't working out because it only pushed one at a time. I don't know if it's an update that they did or something. But anyway, so it'll activate the frames here, and, I mean not the frames, I'm sorry, the wire here by pressing the wireless receiver. See, you activates it. It turns the switch, which puts the redstone output over there, and leaves this counter going, which counts to 4, and then it counts the counter over here up to 4. And when it does that, it turns the little pointer here over to this redstone signal over here, which then brings the transmitter around and resets it and resets the latch. So when this is counting, it counts to 4 and it brings it out 4. So it clicks the frame motor, which is also again powered by the bat box. Here, let me turn it to day without rain. Which is also powered by the bat box down here, and it clicks the frame motor 4 times, which pulls it out 4 times. Okay, so when we activate the second switch, it will put them back. What it does is it activates this wireless receiver, which is connected to this remote. Remember, if you want to change frequencies, you hold shift and right click on the wireless remote, and then you put the frequency of the wireless transceiver, or I mean wireless receiver, I'm sorry, to the signal of the remote. So when you activate the remote, again, it turns the latch in the other direction, which puts the output over there, and it leaves this to be free, and it starts clicking 4 times. This frame motor, which is focusing that way, will turn it that way 4 times, push the whole frame body that way 4 times, and it'll the timer will then click 4 times on here. The pointer will turn to this output signal. It'll come around here and reset it completely. What I had before was the signal would also come around here to a frame motor that pushes it back up. But once again, it didn't work like that, unfortunately. So yeah, and this is the basic setup for this side. You can do the same thing over here, but I had to go through a couple different things because I wanted to see how compact I can make it. And you know, this one came out a little bit more compact than the other one did. Anyways, so I have a wireless receiver hooked up to this frame motor, but like I said, we're not using that frame motor, we're just using all this over here. When you click it, turns this latch over here. It's basically the same concept, and it frees the timer that you have here, and then it starts clicking, and it comes around to here, and it starts pushing the pointer over to the other direction, which then will put out a signal over here and reset it, and the signal will come over here and reset the latch, just like the other side. So when I turn it on, you can see it clicks, 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 and then it resets itself. You have to have it set up like this so that it will reset itself. And then up here is the other receiver. When I turn it on, it is still the same concept, just linked to a different receiver and remote. And I had to bring this one all the way around for some reason, but I brought it all the way around, and it was hooked up to this frame motor, which also pushed it up. Like I said, couldn't do that. Remember, make sure your arrow that is pushing it back is facing that way, and it's on the outside of the frames, and the arrow that's pushing it that way is on the last part of the frames. you're gonna want to put covers, stone covers on the frames, right here, and then oops, I have one connected to here too, I believe, and then frame cover stone covers right here, on the side here, and then on the side here, so it doesn't pick anything up as it goes along. Okay, so the setup of the frames isn't too complicated. Let me grab some frames. Sorry, frame. Okay, so to set up the frames, I'm gonna go up a little bit. This is gonna be a rough sketch. You have your middle frame here. You're gonna grab stone covers. Oops, I want to put covers, or whatever kind of cover you want. You know, you could use any cover to make it look nice. And you put it on here, so it doesn't grab the frames, and it gives it that separating look to it. It doesn't grab any frames while it's moving. You also want to do it do it the same for the other ones, so it doesn't grab any other frames. Set up again, and basically, when the frames activate and pull it apart, you can do this as many times as you want. Just make sure you don't connect the other frames or frame motors or whatever. And you put one on this side, and this, when it gets pulled back, it pulls this frame right here, and then these are going to be connected to this frame right here. So when it gets pulled back, it pulls 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one goes that way. It's kind of the same concept for both, as you can see here. We don't have to put those. So this whole area right here gets pulled that way, and then this whole area right here gets pulled that way. And I think that's basically it. I have it covered. And you're gonna want to put stone on top of the frames here, and remember to connect the remotes. One more time, we'll have it pull apart and then put back together. So we can give you a good look at it, so you can get any materials or anything you need down. These are counters set up to timers, and latches set up to the timer to keep it from going on its own, and a wireless receiver. Same concept down here. You have toggle latch, timer, set up to a counter, and the counter which comes around to the latch, and then a wireless receiver. Okay, and I have one more small little thing for those of you who are interested in little mini games. Yes, this is a little mini game I made you know, while I was really bored, and I just thought up of something. If you want to put this on your Minecraft server to win prizes and stuff, you can. I thought it was pretty cool because, you know, I came up with it. So, you know, when I come up with the original ideas, it always makes me excited to show you guys. Okay, so they start spinning. This is glass on here, and these are frames connected to battery boxes. This is just a timer that goes on its own, and it's always spinning the gold block. And if you want, you can even put a latch right here to keep the timer from spinning without actually somebody talking to you or paying you or paying the server to activate the game. Okay, so the goal of the game is to get the gold block to activate this redstone signal that comes over here to the dispenser and dispenses out a gold block. So let's see if I can grab it real quick. So it pushes the sticky piston out. See, it's not as easy as it looks. Oh, and you're gonna want to put your timer ticks to 0.9 seconds. There we go. See, and it dispenses out a gold block, and you put it back, and it indeed does take it. So, yes, this is a little mini game I made of. If you wanna you know, like and subscribe for anything you liked in this video, you know, the separating doors or the little mini game, that would be appreciated. Thanks for watching. Little man Kragers.